Okay, so now let's look at the question types. We'll start with the verbal reasoning. The first category of question in the verbal section is text completion. In each set, there will be 6 questions of this type, so in total, 12 questions. Now, this type of question tests your logical reasoning skills and how well you understand relations between words and concepts. There are 3 variations of text completion. There's a 1 blank TC, there's 2 blanks, and there are 3 blank TCs. For the first variation, there are usually 5 options for 1 blank. Let's see an example. So this is a 1 blank TC, and as we can see that there are 5 options for this blank. Now if it was a 2 blank TC, for example, let's assume this is a blank. So this is blank 1, this is blank 2. In that case, you'll be given options like this. For each blank, you'll have 3 options. So for blank 1, these are the options, and for blank 2, these are the options. You cannot choose a word from this list for blank 1 and vice versa. The 3 blank text completions are basically the same, so there will be an additional blank and 3 associated answer choices. Now all of these questions, whether it be 1 blank, 2 blank or 3 blanks, carry the same weight. So it's unwise to spend more times in this one because you are not getting any extra credits for giving more efforts. Plus there is no partial marking, which means in case of a 3 blank TC, you have to get all the 3 blanks correct to earn a score. So the best way to avoid wasting time is to predict an answer in your own words, like what word would you put in the blank? Then you can simply select the choice that most closely matches your prediction. For example, if this was a 1 blank TC, before looking at the answer choices, what you can do is predict a word that you think goes well with the sentence. Then you can match your answer with the option and the one that matches the closest, just to select that as an answer. This technique saves a lot of time. For 2 and 3 blanks, it gets a bit more complicated since the blanks may or may not be dependent on each other. So let's see an example. So you have a sentence like this: though blank blank. Now as you can see, since the sentence starts with though, usually whatever word you would put in blank 1, the word in blank 2 will point in the opposite direction. For example, if this is good, this must be bad. Now this is a very generalized view that I'm giving you. In reality, it's a bit more complex, but this is the main idea. The second question type we have is sentence equivalence. In GRE, you'll have in total 8 questions from this type. Now sentence equivalence is very similar to the 1 blank TCs, but the main difference is that you'll be given 6 choices for 1 blank and 2 of them are correct answers. So you must choose your words in such a way that when you plug them in the blank, they must convey the same meaning. So up until now, we have seen that both of these question types require you to have a very good vocab. Now in HunGRE Games, rather than give you a list of complex words to memorize, what we do is we arrange vocab jam battles on a regular basis. So you get to compete in teams and earn exciting rewards based on your performance. Now let's move on to the third and final type of question in the verbal section, which is the reading comprehension. In total, you'll get 20 questions from this type, which means 10 questions per set. This section asks you to answer a bunch of questions based on a given passage. Now, the first two categories are fairly straightforward. You have multiple choice and select one, which means only one can be the answer. Multiple choice, select one or more, where multiple can be the answer. And then you have select in passage. For this type of question, there are no options available. You'll answer by clicking on a sentence in the given passage. These are very similar to the multiple choice questions, but the only difference is that the answer is in the passage itself. So let's summarize what we have learned so far. So from the text completion, you'll have 6 questions in each set, so in total 12 questions. From sentence equivalence, you'll have 4 questions per set, so in total 8 questions. And from reading comprehension, you'll have 20 questions, which means 10 questions per set, which consists of 50% of the verbal reasoning section.